Welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In the series of pattern printing, so far we have seen so many patterns. In this video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So if you could carefully observe this pattern, we have A's in the first row, we have all A's in the first row, we have all B's in the second row, we have all C's in the third row. Like that, we are having these alphabets in every single row. So as and when the number of rows are increasing, the alphabets is also increasing, right? So A to B, B to C, C to D, like that alphabets are increasing. Apart from that, the number of alphabets in every row are keeps reducing as and when the rows increasing, right? So in the first row we have 5 alphabets, the second row we have 4 alphabets, in the third row we have 3 alphabets. Like that, the alphabets are keeps reducing as and when the rows increasing. Like that, we have this particular alphabet shapes here. So apart from that, this alphabet shape is completely coming to the right side here, right? So let us go ahead and see how we can print this particular shape of alphabets here. So in order to do that, I will take a variable rows and I will assign this with 5 because we have 5 rows here, right? So for that reason only, I am taking these rows and assigning with 5. So apart from that, in this pattern, we have spaces, right? So apart from this particular alphabets here, we are also having these spaces. So in order to keep track of the spaces, I will take a variable spaces here. So in the first row, if you observe carefully, we don't have any spaces. For that reason, I will start with these spaces with 0. So later we will increase the spaces as these particular spaces are increasing. So after that, what I will do is that in order to keep track of these alphabets here, I will take a variable alpha. So alpha to keep track of these alphabets. So in the first row, we are starting these alphabets with A, right? So for that reason, I will also start with alphabet A. So one thing we need to keep in mind is that we cannot directly keep track of these alphabets. So for that reason, what we will be generally doing is that we will convert this alphabet to its equivalent integer number. So to do that, we have a specific coding, which is encoding, which is ASCII codes. So by using ASCII codes, we can convert this particular alphabets to its equivalent integer numbers. So if you don't know about ASCII codes and if you don't know about how to convert these alphabets to its equivalent ASCII codes, watch my first video about pattern printing 1 where I have clearly explained. So in this video, we will be knowing what is required to print this particular pattern. So to convert this particular alphabet to its equivalent integer number, we will use a method ORD. So by using this ORD, we can convert this alphabet to its equivalent integer number. So for that reason, I am passing this particular alphabet A to this ORD so that we can able to get to its equivalent integer number. So after that, in order to generate this many number of rows, I will use a for loop for I in range. So now we need to generate the range of values. So this for loop is only to generate the rows, but by observing this pattern, we can generate the range of values that helps to print the pattern further. So by keep that in mind, we can observe this particular pattern starting with 5 alphabets in the first row, 4 alphabets in the second row, 3 alphabets in the third row. Like that, we are starting with 5 and going till the value of 1, right? So for that reason, the range also I will start with 5, which is nothing but rows here, right? So in rows, we have the value 5 here. So after that, we are ending till the value 1 here. Here, we are stopping at 1. So for that reason, I will mention 0 here. So by the functionality of this range, we will be stopped at the value of 1 itself. So I am mentioning -1 because we are keeps reducing this particular pattern of number of values by 1. So for that reason only, I am mentioning -1 here. So in this, to know what value we have in I will print the value I here. So now if I execute this, we are getting the values of what we have expected, which are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can consider these values as rows. So this is one row, this is another row, this is another row. Like that, these are only rows. So by using this range of values, we can actually convert these rows to how many number of values in each row. So by using this I value here, we can compare this particular pattern. In this pattern, in the first row, we have 5 rows. So in I also we have 5 rows. The second row we have four values. The I also we have 4 here. So like that, by using this particular I values, we can generate this many number of values in every single row. So for that reason, in order to generate this many number of rows in every single row, we will use another for loop inside of this loop. So which is for j in range. So as we have discussed previously, we will start with 1 and go till the value of I plus 1. Starting with 1 is very normal and going till the value of I is important. So but I am mentioning plus 1 because by the functionality of this range, we will be stopped at the value of I itself. So in this, what I will be doing is that instead of printing this particular I will print the value of alpha, which is what we are using to keep track of these alphabets, right? So if we directly execute this, we will get the integer value. You can see here. So this 65 is equivalent to alphabet A. So for that reason, we need to convert this particular alphabet to character. So to do that, we have a specific method in Python, which is CHR. By using this CHR method, we can actually convert an integer to its equivalent alphabet. So for that reason only, I am passing alpha to CHR to get the alphabet. So in this, what I will be doing is that in order to get this kind of a shape, we need to format this a little bit to get the shape. So for that reason, I will mention an end with a new with a single space. By default, this print is having this particular end parameter with new line character. For that reason only, we are getting everything in a character. So after that, what I will do is that you can, if I directly execute this, you can get everything in a single line like this. So in order to get, first we will get all these values which are a's, b's, c's and d's. Later we will format this. So for that reason, in order to get what we are using to keep track of this alphabet, which is alpha. So for that reason, as after completion of this inner for loop, this inner for loop is responsible to generate these values in every single row, right? So after completion of this, we need to increase this value to become A become B become C. So in order to do that, we need to increase the value of alpha, right? So for that reason, I am mentioning alpha plus equal to 1 here. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the alphabets. Here we have 5 A's, here we have 4 B's, here we have 3 C's. Like that, we are getting all alphabets. So now we will format this so that we can able to get the exact pattern. So to do that, what I will do is that after getting these particular alphabets which are 5 A's, we need to get a new line, right? So after completion of these 4 B's, we need to get a new line. So for that reason, what I will be doing is that after completion of this inner for loop, I will mention this particular print to get a new line. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the format in this shape. So now we need to arrange a one thing so that we can able to get the exact pattern, which is spaces, right? So as we have discussed previously, we first need to print these spaces to get the exact pattern. For that reason, these spaces, if you observe carefully, are coming exactly before this particular alphabet. So for that reason, as and when we come to this outer for loop, I will print the spaces. So I am taking space and I am multiplying this space with spaces variable. The spaces variable which what we are using to keep track of the spaces, right? So for that reason only I am mentioning spaces, and after that I will mention this end as simple quotes, because by default end is having new line character. We don't want any new line character. For that reason only I am mentioning nothing as a single quotes. So after that, what we will be doing is that, as you can observe in this pattern, the spaces are keeps increasing, right? In every single new row, two spaces are keeps adding, two new spaces are coming. So for that reason, after completion of this inner for loop, I will add two spaces. For that reason, spaces plus equal to 2. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the exact pattern. That is what we have in here. So I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this particular pattern. So if you found any difficulty while understanding this logic, I sincerely suggest you to watch the video once again carefully so that you can understand clearly. Apart from this, if you wanted to understand more clearly about how this exact formatting is happening, watch my numbers pattern print videos where I have clearly explained all those. how to format effectively to get the exact shape. So now what we will be doing is that we will dynamically take input of these rows and print the pattern accordingly. So for that reason, I am taking int and I am taking input. I am asking user to enter rows here. So now if I execute this, it was asking me to enter rows. Let's say I will give the value 3 here. So still we can able to get the exact pattern. That is what we can expect with the input 3. First row we have 3 A's, 2 B's, 1 C. So let's say if I give one more number 7 here, so still we can able to get the exact pattern that what we can expect with the input 7. Starting with A keeps increasing the alphabet and going till the value of Z, which is equivalent to value 7, right? So now I hope you can able to generate this kind of pattern by any number given by the. So I hope you have found this video interesting. If that is true, hit the like button. In the next video, we will see how we can actually generate this particular pattern here. So to stay updated with my latest videos, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications to all so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.